It was a garden party here at Madison Square Garden. Dexter Henry, Zach Brazilla here, where we saw the St. John's Red Storm knock off Seton Hall 71-61. But that's not the big news. The big news is they captured their first Big East championship in 40 years, outright Big East championship. Right. Zach told me I had to be here. I was here. Zach, we got to see a little bit of history. What did you make of what the Johnnies not just did today, but what they've accomplished this season, winning the Big East regular season title?
Like they won the Big East regular season title by a lot. Creighton's about to go down, so they're now 3 games ahead of them. It's not like they're just eking out a title. I mean, they're the class of this league, and they've been the class of this league all season. For them to, be where they are, 26-4, 17-2 is incredible when you consider just everything that's kind of this program has gone through over the last 2+ decades. This is a team that just finds ways to win. I said it the other day after Butler, where they didn't play great. They didn't play great today either, but they just find ways to win, and they've done it from November through now.
You talked about them not playing great today, and this was not an easy one, folks, 71-61, but there's a lot of pressure on them this week, right? They had to get these wins to get this done. Do you think facing this pressure and getting the wins the way they did this week will bode well for this team going forward?
Yeah, Rick Pitino said in the press conference, it's only going to amp up even more. Big East tournament, they're the 1 seed. They're going to be the favorite. NCAA tournament, it's one and done. So, yeah, March is all about pressure. Yeah. And they're only going to face more of it. Pitino also brought up, they've had a bunch of guys hurt, so guys who haven't been practicing. I think you've seen that in these last 2 games where they haven't played great that's been a big part of their success is how well conditioned they are, how tough. And, they just kind of been a little off in these last 2 games. They have a full week off now to get to practice, and I'm sure he'll be running them hard. So I think the bye week comes at a really good time for them. It seems like they're, kind of maybe a little fatigued from the long season and how hard they've been going. But yeah, you win these games. It's all that matters. It's all that matters is just finding ways to win.
All right, and finding ways to win. So now we're in March. We know the madness is coming. Big East tournament after the regular season finale against Marquette. Does this team look Big East tournament ready? I'm not going to get to the NCAA tournament. We'll get to that at a later time. But are you feeling like they're Big East tournament ready, and do you think they can get back to the standard that they were at with this week off heading into the final game against Marquette?
I think it's a really good way to end the regular season. You're going to play on the road against a tournament team. It'll be their senior day, and they have some really big seniors, so it's going to be a raucous environment. It's an important game. I mean, for seeding purposes, NCAA tournament seeding purposes, it's an important game. It's a quad 1 game. I think it's a really good way to go into that Big East tournament, is playing kind of a Big East tournament type of game before the actual tournament.
Last thing for me, we talked about how special of a season this has been, Zach, and obviously they win this Big East championship in the year where we see Luke Carnesecca passed away, and it's meant so much to the St. John's family, the team, the players, everybody around them. For you covering this team, you've seen very down times with this team. Yeah. What has this meant for you to just watch this and cover and document this team as what they're doing in a historic season?
I always kind of wanted to see what it was like covering a good St. John's team, like a top 20 team. I never thought I'd cover a top 10 team or a team that was 17-2 in the Big East. It's pretty surreal because for years, this is a team that would find ways to lose games. And now you have a team that if there's 5 minutes left and it's close, you expect them to win. And I think that's a really good quality to have going into the NCAA tournament where, look, you're probably not going to get a lot of blowouts. You're going to get these white knucklers, these rock fights that St. John's kind of specializes in. And they have so much experience winning these types of games. It's been an incredible year. It's kind of weird going into March where the NCAA tournament's not a question, it's a given, and it's just where they're going to be seated. That's also strange too. And Big East tournament, they're the 1 seed playing at noon. Usually they're the 8 seed playing at 1 at noon against the 1 seed. So it's a very different type of season, but it's been a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Zach's not going to know what to do with himself at the Big East tournament and beyond because this is a whole new territory for him. But hey, he told me to come to the garden party. There was a garden party today, a sellout for St. John's. They get a win 71-61 over Seton Hall. They are your Big East champions outright. That's Zach Braziller. I'm Dexter Henry signing off from Madison Square Garden.